The new BBC drama World on Fire is from multi-award winner Peter Bowker, who, amongst other TV dramas, has given us Blackpool, Wuthering Heights and the very clever Desperate Romantics, that gorgeous caper through the stories of the pre-Raphaelite painters and, of course, their interchanging swan-necked lovers' wives and models. But World on Fire is very different to anything Bowker has attempted before. It's a kind of social melodrama set against the background of the beginnings of the Second World War, combining a detailed look at the society of the time with a plot full of surprise and suspense that takes a large group of characters through a series of trials and tribulations. He presents us with a very different group of families in different countries, principally in Poland, France, Germany and Britain, and follows the emerging connections between them, though sometimes they're often links that only we as viewers can discern. It starts in Manchester in March 1939, with bright young middle-class Harry Chase, Jonah Hauer-King, and his equally bright young but working-class girlfriend Lois Bennett, Julia Brown, protesting at black shirt rallies. But soon Harry heads off to Warsaw, working as a translator at the British Embassy, ensconced in his work, even as he falls in love with Polish waitress Kasia, Zofia Wichlasz. His letters home to Lois coming to a stop. She's still working at a factory and trying to maintain the motherless Bennett household, her wayward brother Tom, Ewan Mitchell, constantly sneaking off at night, and her father, Sean Bean, now a pacifist suffering the shell shock acquired in the trenches in the last war. In Berlin, outspoken American journalist Nancy Campbell, Helen Hunt, risks her life as she broadcasts the truth about Nazi plans for the invasion of Poland as the tanks mass on the border. When they move, Kasia's father and young brother rush to the old post office in Danzig to defend their country, all to no avail. By the end of the first episode, we're left with a bunch of entertainingly perplexing questions about all these characters and what their futures hold as the Nazis sweep across Europe. It's an episode that never loses momentum, the pervading sense of dread and anxiety palpable, as well as the mounting pandemonium as Bowker cuts from scene to scene, country to country. And he scrupulously renders moments of chaos, and the whole thing is quite lovely to look at.
It didn't go down all that well with me. I found this scattergun approach of his just cliche-ridden from go to woe. And I actually might, unless you're going to do something really, really interesting and different, this depiction of Germans at that time as just being, mindlessly violent and cruel.
But they were, Margaret. And this is
I think that, I just think that the repetition of that is unhealthy unless you're going to do something interesting with it. And I don't think he's done anything interesting with this.
Well, I enjoyed the fact that it wasn't like a revisionist look at the Nazis during the war, that it was flat out, an exposition of how brutal. Well, that's what happened. It's based on fact. This is largely based autobiographically on both his own family and his research into the period.
Well, I don't care. This is the thing about the truth. You've got to make it believable and interesting, and you can't tell me that there is not some bias in there in perception. And it's sort of like the upper middle class son falling in love with the factory girl and then with a waitress, and the doctor in Paris having a gay relationship with the black saxophonist. I ended up, really not liking this very much.
Well, I loved all those elements. It's a middle-class melodrama aimed at Sunday night on the BBC. It works terrifically well.
Not with me.
Not with you. Well, I'm giving this 4.5.
You're joking.
No, totally. I think there's a terrifically
I was going to
good
give
bit
it
of writing.
3, but to balance it out, I'm going to give it 2.
All right, Margaret. Up to you.
The world has averted its eyes to the buildup of German troops along the German-Polish border and Hitler's threat to take Danzig by force. The Poles have bicycles. The Germans have tanks. Make no mistake, the Nazi Party is a master of illusion. And the greatest illusion of all is that they are seriously negotiating for peace.